Brody here once again on Noise TV. Now, I was born in the 70s, but someone who was rocking and rolling in the 70s was Billy Thorpe. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
How are we?
Good.
Good to be back up on stage?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, it is. It's good to be back up on stage with these guys. I mean, I haven't played with... well, this band was a band... Well, Warren Morgan was in the Aztecs with me, and we made an album called Thumping Pig and Puffin' Billy back in 1971.
Yeah.
And this is the first time any of this music has been played since then. A lot of great bands, particularly in Melbourne. I mean, you know, long before you were born, there were 40 or 50 live music gigs here on a Thursday and a Friday, Saturday night, all packed, no alcohol. Very little drugs at the venues, but it was just all on the strength of the music. And there was an amazing scene that produced a lot of great bands. It was the reason that the Sunbury Music Festival happened. I mean, basically the Sunbury Music Festival was everything that was going on in Melbourne at that time, 3 days in the open air, you know. I think that you know, any scene can thrive on one element alone. I don't think that you know, old music from people like myself that was made in the 70s should be at the forefront. But I think it's entitled to its place, in its historical place, its roots, whether people like it or not.
Sunbury Music Festival. You know, I was just standing on the field out there 2 days ago. I swear to God, the bottle tops are also heritage. It's just outrageous.
So I think things like Aztec Records re-releasing stuff by Buster Brown, which is where Angry Anderson started, early stuff by the Aztecs, and lots of other stuff that girls are coming out, I think it's very healthy. Melbourne was an island to itself musically. I mean, most of the bands that were big here were unheard of everywhere else in the country, and yet they were playing to thousands of people a week. We used to play 5 gigs on a Saturday, and we weren't the only band. But that scene didn't spread nationally until the Sunbury Music Festival, and there was a period prior to that where there were a lot of records made, and these are the records that a lot of which Bill's releasing, and it's great. It's great to see it, because I think a lot of people are going to make a connection with it. I think a lot of people are going to get a big surprise at just how substantial the music was and how good the playing was, and the connection between some of the rips that are being played on records today and where they came from. That's the most important thing, that the young players and the young audience makes the connection to the Australian music scene of, say, 30 years ago, because there were some great bands, there was some great playing, and historically it has a connection to what's going on today, and musically it has a connection to what's going on today. Image-wise, it has a connection to what's going on today. Let me give you an example. Roger Daltrey's a mate of mine, and I was standing, I worked with Roger and Paul Rogers and Alice Cooper and a number of people a couple of years ago, and when Roger was here recently with The Who, I was standing backstage with him and Pete, and Tim Rogers, who's a dear friend of mine, in fact he's doing a benefit with me in a couple of weeks. This is not a put down by any means, but there's Daltrey and me, a couple of old rock dogs from the 70s, and I'm in a pair of jeans, a pair of sneakers and a white t-shirt, and so was Daltrey. And Pete had a black Armani suit on, and I looked over my shoulder, and there was you and I in velvet pants, velvet jackets, bandanas and scarves, you know, and I had a look, and I said, have a look at this. And it was just a funny moment, because there they are, looking like we did 30 years ago.
The 70s album cover.
Yeah.
Well, if fashion is cyclic, let's hope music is as well. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. Billy Thorpe, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
You're on Noise TV.